It was like the first 3 races were just crazy, just 40, 50 degree shifts, like every 2 to 3 minutes.
And velocity too.
And velocity, it was just, we were struggling just to have a straight line, but we're like, all right, we're gonna let it go. And the feedback we're getting from folks, thank you by the way for people who was giving us honest feedback that we were trying the best we could in terms of the setting a straight course, but it was challenging. But it was, I thought it was,
the middle of the shifts.
yeah, we tried to put it down the middle, and it seemed to work for the most part.
You know why those shifts were coming in? You want the meteorology? Meteorology lesson? So, pardon me? Well, no, the little shifts were the land. The big ones were the clouds. So on a day like today, and it's a little rare that they go out over open water like the Sound, but on the lakes this happens all the time. So you get the cumulus clouds, right? And they kind of line up in streets. But any glider pilot, and the Hawks will tell you, hopefully you can talk to the Hawks, there's an updraft underneath the clouds, and you're sitting there going, well, who the hell cares? And there's downdrafts in between the clouds. Okay? So the rows are very informal. And so what happens is you get these circles of air going around. Oops, wrong way. That way, and then down, and then this circle goes the other way, right? So going down there and up there. So what happens is there's a vector on the land that's like this. Okay. So the confusing thing is that you between all these rows you get these opposite vectors of air, right? But then the problem with it is that these cloud circles of air don't have anything to do with the prevailing wind. Okay, so they can line up. If this lines up with the prevailing wind, you get periods of light air and periods of light air and periods of heavy air as the cloud streets go by. And then if they line up across it, you get periods of big righties and big lefties. Okay. And so you go, well, how can you predict when the next cloud street's coming? And it's like, you can't. But all wind shift sailing is probability sailing, okay? So what you can do, if you see this thing setting up, and you see that you're getting periods of righties and periods of lefties, is if you've been sailing in righties for a little while, start hedging your bet towards the left. Because sooner or later, a big lefty's gonna come banging in. Once it comes in, sail left hard for a little while, but then start hedging towards the right and looking for the wind on the big righty coming in. And they can even line up diagonal to the wind, and probably what was happening today was they were diagonal because we had big periods of lighter wind, and then we had big periods of heavier wind. And the wind would go boom to one side and then the other side too. So, and then all the little shifts are where their turbulence coming of all this air coming over the land. So. Part of the probability game just gives you another piece of information when those cloud streets line up.
What do you do for a living?
He's a meteorologist slash fighter
do as
pilot.
little as possible.
That's his hobby. He's a meteorologist.
No, I just love sailing wind shifts on lakes.
He's a lake sailor.
I'm a lake sailor, so if you see these clouds line up and you're like, oh, it's going to be a great day, we'll probably be able to tack straight to the windward mark, and then bang tack and then bang tack. And then the other key thing is if a big gust is coming at you and you're not sure, like I'm always guessing, is that the more you guess, is it going to be a head or a lift, the more you start getting it right, because it forces your mind to notice. But the thing to do is look up. The top of your main is going to tell you first. Right. Because the gust hits up there first, way before it hits down low. So you look up at the top of your sail. You don't even need a telltale. Yeah. A little harder on a laser with the main crank so tight, But any other boat, especially where you got it twisted off a little more, you're going to see it in the top 3 feet of the main.
Today, I think you had zones to it. Like it felt like you had like if you were sailing into this heavier breeze and you didn't know what it was, you'd hit this like zone before the heavy stuff, and it would start to go left or something. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, this puff's gonna be a big lefty, so I would tack in the zone and then get hit with that puff and then lift into it.
Yeah, and then also
that makes sense.
Today I was doing. Sometimes it just felt really slow. an attack, and you'd be on a huge lift, you were forcing a header and not seeing it on your sail so much. So, there we go.
Sweet. And that happens more, so this was a northerly, so northerlies are known for being shifty.
Yeah, well, they're coming across the land, so it's making a lot of turbulence.
So that's in addition to the cloud formation, or is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, the cloud formation is gonna make big shifts or big area, and then within those shifts, there'll be little ones. But it'll be a big bank to one side, and then there'll be little ones within it as the turbulence comes across the land.
I noticed the clouds when I was sailing in after the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful!
I noticed them on
Look,
the
a
way
seagull!
out. Yeah,
What am I gonna have for dinner today?
yeah, but you gotta remember, it's a probability game. It's not, there's no given secret to when it's gonna go to the other side.
All right, Andrew, how did you kill it?
It was pretty kind of traditional thinking. Be like a minute, 2 minutes, I'd be standing up trying to look upwind, pick the side with the pressure. More often than not, it was from the right. But I did have a funny instance before the first race. I was going upwind on port, and I noticed my angle was like 288. And I came back down the start, went up on starboard, it was 288. So yeah, I knew we were in a day, lots of pressure changes and angle changes. So yeah, just trying to be as heads up as possible, just driving into the big puffs. But yeah, I mean, there were some sketchy times when it really didn't feel very good. You know, trying to make your way across the course just to try to stay, you know, under the mark or get to the next big puff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet. And I was talking to Lawrence out there. I don't think we all were tacking enough towards the end of the day. You know, I felt myself buying some headers just to stay with the fleet that was just continuing, and I was like, why are we doing this? We're all just, you know, if any one person tacked, they'd be gaining on everybody else.
People were getting tired at the end. You definitely noticed it. First couple races, we had the general recalls, and then by the last couple races, it was just like, you know, huge gaps in the line, and
Well, the line got a little squarer actually to it.
yes, yeah, the line was definitely much more square.
Yeah.
First couple races, like because of the shifts, it would like all of a sudden be like skewed 40 degrees. And,
Yeah.
like,
It didn't have the tide pushing over it, the tide was going down it.
Oh, you know, that's interesting. So I tossed my water bottle out near a 5 mile-an-hour marker near the big rock on the way out. And this is on the way out to the course before race committee was there. And the current was going up. The water ball just was going upwind.
yeah.
Then I was with Lawrence, and I got to like a big green gong or something down there.
Way out.
And it was going downwind. So it hadn't switched yet. So apparently, I was expecting it to switch sometime just after 10 o'clock.
I was shocked when I saw that. I couldn't believe
Yeah,
it. It was
but
still
it
going
really
out.
wasn't. And we were only half a mile apart from the two markers. But it was interesting that it just hadn't switched quite yet.
You're saying further downwind, it was going downwind,
Yeah.
and up by the rock, it was going back into the channel.
Yeah.
It started to flood there first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In the shallows. Yeah. But you know, just in terms of like approach to the day, I started towards the boat. Starts were pretty good. I was above you, Phil, for 2 of those first few starts, and just trying to hold. I didn't exactly know which way the first shift was going to come, and then I was just playing you, honestly. You know, when you tacked, I would just. If I was lifted and I felt like you tacked, I'd keep going just a little bit, and then I tacked to try to buy a few more seconds on the lifted tack. And I knew you were just trying to split and maybe get across back to the middle.